What is up, Internet? My name is Rebecca Johnson. I'm one of the co-hosts of Supergirl Radio. We will get started here in a little bit when Morgan joins us. But we are going to be talking about Supergirl 2025, number 11. This is still in the Sophie Campbell run that we have been enjoying so much and covering all the way through. So if you haven't been keeping up, if this is the first time you've hopped into the Sophie Campbell run, we actually have a playlist for you here on YouTube that you can check out. You can also go to supergirlradio.com and search for Sophie Campbell in our searchable archive, and you can find all of the episodes related to it. So if you want to go back and start from the beginning and read it for yourself, and then tag along with us as we read through it, that is a good supplement to your reading if you haven't already been doing that. So we're going to be talking about the latest issue, number 11. We're also going to be talking about some Supergirl news, a lot of it comic book news, which is very exciting. A lot of things coming for the summer of Supergirl, which seems to be official now. In several instances, we have been getting verbiage that says the summer of Supergirl, which we sort of anticipated here on Supergirl Radio because last year we had the summer of Superman. So we assumed there would be a summer of Supergirl, and now it's kind of becoming an official term that they are using over there at DC Comics. So that is super exciting. Morgan, I see that you are with us. Are you good to go? Okay, I'm going to bring you in, check some sound. How are you today?
I am ready. The summer of Supergirl is almost upon us.
It is coming. Well, you wouldn't know that where I am because it was supposed to be like spring break this week. It was supposed to be nice and wonderful. And then all of a sudden it snowed a couple days ago. And it was like, what? This is not the summer of Supergirl. It's springtime, I thought. I thought we were heading into the summer.
This was not the summer of Supergirl I was promised.
Yes, this is still the winter of Supergirl, I guess. So I don't know what's happening. But yeah, so in theory, the summer of Supergirl is upon us. Okay, so we have some news to talk about, and we have some comic stuff to talk about as well. So Morgan, if you're ready to go, I guess we could go ahead and get started.
McGurk! I love typing.
Not mess with my Google Docs, Meeksy.
Supergirl Radio is going live every night of the week. How do you like it? Is becoming a human burrito a plus or a minus? I don't know. It does seem snug.
I mean, they say you are what you eat.
Kira. I love that.
So I do a podcast called Supergirl Radio, and one of our segments is Lena Luthor, Boardroom or Ballroom. Because
she looks like a boss in this coat.
Nasty Luthor like a different Luthor? It's not just Lena being mean?
No.
Helen Slater here. So fun to know that you're hosting a podcast called Supergirl Radio.
Yes! Welcome to Supergirl Radio, your source for all things related to the character of Kara Zor-El. My name is Rebecca Johnson.
I'm Morgan Glennon.
And for this episode of the podcast, we are live and wired to discuss and review Supergirl 2025, number 11. This was written and drawn. The writer and artist was Sophie Campbell. Tamara Bonvillain was the colorist. Becca Carey was the letterer. Jillian Grant was the assistant editor. Brittany Holzer was the senior editor. So we have a new issue to discuss in the Sophie Campbell run that we've been enjoying so much. A character from Supergirl's mythology and lore has come back into the picture in Candor. So I'm very excited to discuss it. But before we get to that, we need to get to
the news.
And I will find it. DC's Summer of Supergirl continues with Summer of Supergirl Special Number 1, a 48-page one-shot arriving June 24th. This celebratory anthology brings together an all-star roster of writers and artists for a trio of stories honoring Kara Zor-El's legacy across the DC universe.
Okay, I think I may have not copied it correctly. There's like other things that are happening with this one as well, but I didn't include that because it was like summer. It was like Superman stuff and whatever. But we're just focusing on the Supergirl part of it.
This isn't the Summer of Superman. Okay, that's past. That's past. This is the future.
Yes. So there were other things in this article, which I've linked in the video description and the audio podcast show notes. We'll put them in there. So if you want to read the full article that talks about like the Superman stuff, you could do that. But we're just going to be talking about the Supergirl portion.
We're going to be talking about the important stuff.
Yes.
I also love that it's the summer of Supergirl. We've been calling it. It's finally official.
Yes. So they have adopted the Summer of Supergirl title for what we are heading into, which seemed like I was worried they wouldn't do it, but they did it for the Summer of Superman. So we figured there should be a Summer of Supergirl too.
I'm not trying to start trouble, but we did steal his summer and his day. Hey-o.
We are coming for you, Superman.
Throwing
We're just going to take everything.
Okay. Artists, a trio of stories honoring Kara-Zor-El's legacy across the DC universe. In the lead story by Sophie Campbell, and I'm gonna get this wrong.
I'm gonna guess like Belen Ortega.
Okay, yeah,
maybe?
Belen. I hope it's.
We're our apologies if we get that incorrect.
Belen Ortega, the quiet town of Midvale is shaken when Supergirl comes face to face with the galactic bounty hunter Lobo.
Okay, all right.
This is already Rebecca's like, all right. Hold on. Shut it down.
I think we can have a story that doesn't have Lobo in it. I feel like that's possible. Why does he have to get into our stuff?
I don't know that we can. I don't know that that's for us. He's here and there's no getting rid of him. It says, can the Maiden of Might stand up to the main man? Is that like a new nickname of his?
No,
or is it like an old nickname of his?
Lobo has been called the main man for a long time. I don't know why. He's a very minor character that really doesn't matter that much in most stories. So I don't know why people put so much emphasis on him. He's not. This is an unpopular opinion. Hot take. I don't think Lobo is a very good character. I've said it.
You're like, I don't care for Lobo.
I don't care for Lobo. Morgan doesn't care for Green Lantern. We have set boundaries.
Listen, we have hot takes on here. They're scorching hot. We're just starting fights with all different characters in this episode. Okay. DC's Summer of Supergirl special also features 2 bonus stories, one by Mark Waid and is it Cian or
maybe
Cian Tormey, and another by Gail Simone and Emma Cuthbert, each celebrating Supergirl as she resumes her rightful place as the heir to El. The Summer of Supergirl special number 1 is written by Sophie Campbell, Mark Waid, and Gail Simone, with art by Belen Ortega, Cian Tormey, and Emma Cuthbert. And it will be arriving on June 24th, and it will be $5.99 US. Although if you get a cardstock variant, get ready, $6.99.
They up that price for that variant.
Start saving now.
Probably worth it, though, I imagine.
Probably worth it. And with more announcements to come as DC's Summer of Supergirl continues throughout 2026.
So this is coming out 2 days before the movie. So I can see why they have Lobo in it. They're trying to have synergy with the movie. So they're putting out a comic that has Lobo in it. So it will tie kind of into the movie. I get it. I get what they're doing.
In the Rye says, I feel like they felt like they needed that Lobo synergy, but like they really didn't.
Yes, I agree. 100%. It was not necessary.
Are they going to see Lobo or are they going to see Supergirl? Excuse you.
That's the question. I feel like that's the question. And we'll talk about it, but like even in this issue that we read, there was some Lobo, not like in the story, but like his presence was made known in the comic. And I did not care for it.
There's no escaping him. They're going to use this comic as a backdoor pilot for a Lobo thing.
I don't care for it.
They're like, they're like, since you love Supergirl so much, I'm like, yeah. They're like, we've got a new comic for you. I'm like, awesome, cool. And they're like, it's Lobo. I'm like, oh. Cool.
I will tolerate him for the movie and for this maybe one issue. Hopefully just one issue. That's all they get.
Right
Just
now,
wanted to-
Lobo, sir, you are useful to us, but watch yourself.
But that's exciting. There is a comic book specifically titled Summer of Supergirl, and that is so exciting. Well, that's not the only comic book news we have for Supergirl and Supergirl fans. After first hinting that a new DC Elseworld series, Supergirl Survive, which I don't think we covered. I don't know how we missed this, but I didn't know anything
was
about
like
this.
the first I heard of it, so I was like, "What do you mean?" At first hinting, I not to me.
This is new to us. But DCComics.com says after first hinting that a new DC Elseworld series, Supergirl Survive, would launch during DC Summer of Supergirl celebration, DC now unveils the full scope of its next wave of alternate universe storytelling. Oh, this is where I thought there was a lot of like Superman stuff.
Yeah.
With Supergirl Survive, that's one story. Then there's Superman Father of Tomorrow and Dark Knights of Steel 2. I have not read Dark Knights of Steel 1, so I don't know if I can hop into that. So hopefully you've read the first one. But it says, in Supergirl Survive, teenage Kara-Zor-El and infant Kal-El are launched into a hostile universe as Krypton burns around them. While Superman Father of Tomorrow imagines a world where Jor-El, not his newborn son, crash lands in Kansas and becomes Earth's greatest protector. And in Dark Knights of Steel, the second, or Dark Knights of Steel 2, the fan favorite fantasy epic returns to forge a new legend. Oh, fan favorite. Oh, well, I guess we're missing out. I haven't read that one. It goes on to say, Kara-Zor-El lives a life of small problems. School dances, family squabbles, and the impossible task of holding her floppy baby cousin Cal, but Krypton has big ones. As General Zod tightens his grip and the planet begins to burn, Kara and Cal are launched into the stars together, trapped in a prototype rocket and fighting to survive a universe that doesn't care if they live or die. Supergirl Survive, a new DC Elseworlds comic book series written by Ethan S. Parker and Griffin Sheridan, with art and covers by Rod Reese, launches on June 3rd, so just a couple of weeks before the movie comes out. Parker and Sheridan, Eisner Award nominees for Kill Your Darlings, joined visionary artist Reese of New Mutants for a harrowing Elseworlds tale of two refugees bound by blood, trauma, and hope. This is notably very different because usually in most Supergirl stories, Kara is sent sort of separate from Cal.
Yeah.
With the intention to protect baby Cal when they get wherever they're going, if it's Earth or wherever. But here they're actually traveling together. So that is notably very different. So that could be a really cool Elseworlds take on the origin story of maybe how they come to Earth. Are they coming to Earth or are they going somewhere else? I don't know.
Who knows where they'll end up? I'm really excited about this one. I think it sounds really, really fun. And I love a good Elseworlds or Elsewhere story. What do they usually say? Oh, Elseworlds. There you go. I was like, yes. It's elsewhere.
Like Saint Elsewhere is kind of the same thing.
Exactly.
Yeah.
It was all a dream.
Yeah.
We're getting so much Supergirl stuff. I'm like trying to, in my head, keep up with all of the stuff because that's coming up. Because obviously we have the Sophie Campbell run. Now we have this Elseworld story. We have the Summer of Supergirl issue. We have Supergirl the World.
Yes.
And am I missing something?
There's
something else too.
There's
right?
like Supergirl's Family Vacation that Comiker Girl works on. So there may be another one that I'm also forgetting, but there's several of them. Just on counting on your hand, there's probably like 5 of them. Yeah,
that's 5 projects in like the next 3 or 4 months. Which is crazy. This is so much Supergirl. There was a time when there was like no Supergirl stuff happening at all. And now it feels like there's so much. There's a Supergirl aplenty now.
So definitely support your local comic book shops. Buy it online in the digital stores, even if Comixology is not quite what it used to be. It's still worth getting those digital copies.
You can take it around with you. A little easier.
Yes. So definitely support Supergirl in the comics this summer because we want to show that the Supergirl's in demand because I think she is. We buy Supergirl stuff all the time to read here on Supergirl Radio. So hopefully Supergirl will generate enough interest that people will want to check out these stories. So I'm very, very excited that there's so much comic book stuff that is happening. But In the Rye 3 says my wallet will be hurting in June. There are a lot of things happening in June with Supergirl, so that is something to maybe save up for. And speaking of which, Morgan, do you want to tell the audience about another thing that they could buy if they want to?
Oh no. McFarlane Toys is releasing a new Supergirl figure, and you too might be able to get it.
You
if
might.
It is not stolen from a truck somewhere, which, to be clear, we have no knowledge of.
This was not something that we participated in.
We were not involved. This is an incredibly detailed 7-inch scale figure based on the DC multiverse. It's designed with ultra articulation with up to 22 moving parts for full range of posing and play. Included are a fabric cape, 6 extra hands, which is so many extra hands.
So many hands. What do you need so many hands?
Imagine what you could get accomplished if you had 6 extra hands. Swappable face and base, collectible art card with character art on the front, and character biography on the back.
Yeah, so this one, maybe I'll get it for the collection. But
Yeah.
I'll be honest with you, I don't love it. It's not.
I actually agree with that.
It's not the best looking figure. And normally McFarlane puts out good stuff.
They do. Like, listen, I'm going to be honest. I wouldn't heist a truck for this one.
Just to clarify,
we haven't.
We've never heisted a truck for Supergirl figures.
But yeah, I mean, I think it looks nice, but it's not something that I think I would look at and be like, yeah, that one's I'm gonna spend money on that one and find like a place in my house for it. The other one, the page puncher one that we joke around a lot, that got a whole bunch of them got stolen. That one was really very pretty.
One was good, and that's probably why it was stolen.
And that's probably why it was stolen, and why I never ended up getting one. But if you want a more kind of, I feel like this one's a little bit more of a like kind of a classic-y looking.
Yeah, it's a
like
Silver Age.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Then maybe this McFarlane Toys one is for you. Now I see your note on the doc. I don't see a price on this, so it could be any price at all.
Yeah, we do not have a price yet for this. But it is available. It might be available for pre-order. I can't remember. Did we put the link in here? I did not put the link in here. But it is in the video description for the live stream, and we'll put it in the audio podcast show notes so that you can go and see it for yourself. But it is kind of on the McFarlane Toys website now. So if you want to check it out, they've been promoting it a good bit. And one of the things I think is interesting about just kind of the summer of Supergirl in theory and like idea and concept, I have been perplexed as to why like the Supergirl official social media accounts are not sharing these things. These are things that I'm like finding out because somebody sends me something and it's not being shared like on the Supergirl social media. They're taking another they're like taking another route with their strategy.
Going in a different direction, which is not letting us know about anything at all.
But like DC Comics is not sharing these things. They're putting it on their blog, but they're not sharing it on social media. They're not putting in their email newsletters. And I'm just like, how are fans finding out about this stuff? So we're going to try to share these things as they come up so that like everybody knows about it, because we can't keep up with it. And I find that to be kind of a misstep from DC and the official Supergirl account, because I feel like these are things that maybe they could share, like the McFarlane figure or the comics that are coming out that coincide with the movie that include Lobo for some unknown reason, except for synergy. They could share those things. So I kind of wish they did. But I'm sure that they have a strategy for all this. They've probably been working on this for a while. But if you are struggling like we are to kind of keep up with this news, we will try to keep everybody aware of what's happening and what's available, because that's stuff that we want to know too. So hopefully we will, if you see anything, if you're a listener or a viewer and you see things that are out there that maybe we've missed, please email supergirlradio@gmail.com and send us a link so that we can let everybody know.
Yeah, because there's a lot going on for the summer of Supergirl, at least on the comic side. I'm sure that they're going to start ramping up the movie promotion pretty soon, and I'm putting my money aside for the merch. I'm ready for the merch. Uh, but yeah, there's like a lot of comic book stuff going on, and so it feels like even though we do a podcast about Supergirl, sometimes I'm like, did we, when they were talking about, yes, it's been hinted at that it was going to be Supergirl, I was like, was it? Did we miss that?
We had no idea.
So it's possible that they've announced something that we missed. So you can always let us know about it.
Yeah, and good news from the chat. Mark says, I saw one of those page punchers on eBay. So just be careful though, Mark. Could that person selling it have done something shady? We don't know.
Are they fencing it right now?
Is this a trusted seller? I don't know. We have to be wary about this.
Find this.
I have so many questions about how you obtained this figure. Am I buying something that was on the black market? I don't know. But that's kind of interesting that things are slowly. I'm sure many of these will start showing up on eBay.
They'll make their way back into distribution.
So that's a good tip. Thank you for sharing that. Okay, well, I think that's all the news that we have to cover for this episode. So we are going to get right into the comic book that we are going to discuss. This is Supergirl 2025, number 11. And the description for it reads, quote, with the Bottle City on fire, literally, Kara Zor-El abandons the comfort of Midvale to save the last survivors of Krypton. The youth are in revolt after a shocking secret is revealed and the Science Council is put on trial for its crimes against the next generation. I don't know if they were actually put on trial, but we'll talk about it. And then it ends with this question: can Supergirl find peace between the two warring factions? Unquote. So Morgan, Supergirl has gone into the Bottle City. She finds out that Superman is missing for some reason, and she's like, I'll catch up on looking for him later. I need to go into the Bottled City.
She's like, I'm gonna put a pin in that.
I'll come back to that.
He'll be fine.
So she's going into the Bottle City to mostly see what's going on, because one of my favorite things about this issue and the art is this panel where you see the sort of the external perspective of the Bottle City of Kandor, and just inside the bottle is just like flames and fire. So it doesn't look good for them. So Supergirl can tell that something is not right within the Bottle City, so she is going in there. So I'm curious, Morgan, what did you think about what Supergirl is discovering as she goes into Kandor, and sort of what the environment is like and what she sort of encounters?
Yeah, I mean, you can kind of see in the outside view of the Bottle City that things inside the Bottle City probably not going great. There probably shouldn't be that much smoke or fire in the Bottle City. So I feel like she knows, like, she's about to come into something bad happening. And when she does get into the Bottle City, she's seeing like a lot of like ooze creatures, like probably more ooze creatures than she would be expecting to see in Kandor, and also some, like, I don't know, like the blue creature that she fights it doesn't seem quite as oozy, but she's seeing sort of all these creatures that as she's fighting them, she's thinking, these kind of look like that super serum stuff that like Leslie makes. Uh-oh.
Things have gotten out of control with the super substance there in Kandor. She finds out that this sort of blue bladed creature's name is Cut. They've named this person Cut, who answers to the Black Flame, who we will talk about in a second. And then also kind of the monster creatures are referred to as Rust. So I guess that's kind of what we're supposed to imagine, like their material is made out of, is rust. So there's new creatures who I don't know if they're actually Kandorians who have been turned into that, or because of the super substance. I'm not quite clear how they have become that way, or if they just are always existed in Kandor. But Supergirl is encountering some new people or creatures as she gets into the Bottle City. So she also discovers that something has happened with the Science Council. I wasn't really sure what to make of that, but Morgan, do you have any thoughts about how things with the Science Council, like people have been not been told something about this genetic anomaly that makes everybody still tiny when they leave the bottle city? Everybody's very upset about that. They can't get big. So
Yeah.
it's a real problem.
It's a bummer. It's a bummer. If you grow up in the bottle city dreaming of what it's like outside of a bottle city, you think, wouldn't it be great one day to go out of the bottle city and to be big and to like see something that's not this. And then you learn that like you can do that for about I'd say 10 issues, and then you're going to have a real issue, and then you're going to get small again. They're just going to toss you right back into that bottle. And I think that might be dispiriting if you had dreamed of going having adventure in the great wide somewhere. Then I feel like maybe you would kind of freak out about it a little bit. And this seems to be what is happening, at least with Lesla and the Black Flame, which we will get into in a little bit. But it seems that they're not so happy. And I'm interested to learn, is it just Lesla and the Black Flame with the super substance, like causing havoc, or are the other people who live in the bottle city of Kandor, namely the younger people who have this genetic mutation, are they also really mad? Like, is it just a couple of bad apples, or is everybody kind of freaking out in like destructive ways? Because really they talk about how the people have like learned this and how the Science Council is hiding, but it does seem like only Lesla and Black Flame are the ones causing the problems. Like the other younger people that we see in this issue are actually fighting the super substance monsters or just people. I don't know. I don't want to judge Rust, but and it doesn't. I don't know that they're happy with the Science Council, but it doesn't seem like they are like actively trying to get them. So maybe the Science Council is just trying to avoid Lesla and Black Flame, or maybe everyone, if the Science Council were to like walk outside, maybe everyone would be like, "Hey, hold on, Rust. Put a pin in that. We got to go talk to those guys."
Yeah, that's a really good point, because Supergirl does interact with a young lady named Ryla, who seems to just be on the lookout for food and water. Things are getting really like desperate in the bottle city. People are not actually getting necessities that they that need. And so those people don't seem to have any. Oh, there's a tail maybe across the screen. Okay. It's like, oh, your screen is going black, Morgan. Oh, that's fur. That's what that is.
Slowly my screen just gets darker and darker.
So surprisingly, the Lab Cats, it looks like Bunsen has joined us. So
Bunsen is joining us. He really wants a lot of scritches right now. So that's what's going on. Okay. Yes, I will continue to pet you as I speak.
Yeah, so Ryla seems to be a part of the young generation, but is not actively trying to fight the Science Council or trying to take over the bottle city. She's just like, hey, I need something to eat, I need something to drink, and I'm trying to help my friends here. So it doesn't seem like it's everyone. It seems just like maybe Black Flame has gone a little power hungry, and she's using Lesla's technology and science mind to do this.
It seems like she's using the opportunity of everyone being mad at the Science Council to try to sort of stage a coup and take over the bottle city of Kandor. She's kind of like, well, once we get rid of the Science Council, we're going to fix all of our, mutations, and then we'll all get out of here. We'll all be so tall. You will not imagine. We'll reach things on the highest shelves you can imagine.
Black Flame claims that the Science Council didn't tell anyone about this genetic anomaly because they only care about preserving Kandorian culture, which I don't think is a bad thing. But Black Flame says, well, they wanted us stuck in this bottle forever. And so she has a real issue that it seems like Black Flame thinks that they are curbing her freedom and her adventure and her ability to make choices for herself. And the dangerous thing, I think, is that Black Flame is threatening to kill the Science Guild and take over when they are gone. So Black Flame has some really nefarious desires and aspirations. So Black Flame has gone out of control, I think, very quickly. But she and Lesla are cousins, and so they are related. So I think Lesla, even if Lesla doesn't want to fully go along with this, which I didn't get the idea that she is like fully on board, even though Black Flame insists that she is. But I think Lesla feels some sort of obligation to her cousin to help her out. So this is a really interesting dynamic, because if you go back into Supergirl's mythology, which you can do by going to supergirlradio.com and look at the character spotlight for Lesla Lar. We talk about the appearance of Black Flame in that, where Black Flame and Lesla Lar team up against Supergirl. So there is history in the comics of these two sort of teaming up against Supergirl. So we don't have time to get into that. So go back and listen to that episode, which I think is maybe the episode where my fire alarm kept chirping. Not the alarm, but like the fire thing.
Oh,
yes, it was chirping during that episode. So hopefully it's not too unbearable to listen to. But that one does go through some of the history of Black Flame. So Sophie Campbell once again is dipping her pen, her laptop into the lore of Supergirl's history in the Silver Age. So she's bringing characters back that haven't been used very much, and I really appreciate that. So Black Flame, Morgan, what do you think about her? What do you think about like her look, her attitude, and what she does to fight Supergirl?
Black Flame is obviously not a great person, it seems like. She's like using this chaos to kind of try to take over. She seems to be really manipulating Lesla. But I will say her look is really cool. Like, she popped up and I was like, okay, I get it. I get why Lesla would be like, okay, you seem so cool. Sure. I'll give you my super serum.
Should we do a boardroom or ballroom?
Sure.
Okay, all right. We will do this officially.
And now, Lena Luthor, boardroom or ballroom?
I personally like that Black Flame has like maybe like a two-tone hair.
Yes, it's I really appreciate the hair. I think the
Yeah.
hair is really fun. It's pink and purple. It's two-toned. And I think it really works with her outfit, really works with her makeup. She's put some thought and effort into her look, which I appreciate. Her outfit is pink and black, which kind of goes with the pink in her hair. And I can't tell what the symbol is on her sort of chest, where like usually the shield is.
Yeah, I would say it would be her family name, but she or her house, but I would assume that she and Lesla were part of the same house. But I'm not entirely sure. Black Flame's real Kryptonian name is Zora V. Lar. So I don't know if they're like in two different Kryptonian houses. So I'm not sure if we know what it stands for, but I guess it would be her house that she is tied to. My question about that area where the S shield is, Black Flame has made a real choice for cleavage.
Oh yeah, we've got a full boob window going on here. you just don't see boob windows like this anymore, to be honest. But it's not as bad as the Power Girl one.
Power Girl one is way worse.
Power Girl one is unmatched in terms of being a boob window. Honestly, the originator, I think, of the genre. So you have to respect it. But she was like, I don't see why Power Girl should have all the fun. Sometimes I just want to, let a breeze in. So she's got like this sort of top half to her outfit, has kind of almost like a big shoulder pad kind of action, almost, with the sort of the black part and the symbol on the shoulders. And then, of course, just sort of a lot of her chest out, and then it goes into sort of a traditional kind of bathing suit, legging, boots kind of a superhero outfit. But I do feel like the the boob window is fairly tastefully done.
Yeah, I would say if they were to do it, this is somewhat taste. I was actually thinking that myself. She also has her guns out, so she doesn't really have sleeves. She has long gloves that go up, but part of her sleeves are gone. So maybe it's hot. I mean, there are a lot of fires there, so maybe
That's true. She's like, listen, my winter costume is different, but like we've been setting so many fires lately, and it gets a little hot in here. It gets a little hot when half of Kandor is on fire.
I will say I do like the touches of the actual black flame on her calves. Like
yes,
her legs.
that is really fun. Yeah,
I
I like the color scheme. In fact, I just overall really liked the way that this issue was colored. I thought it was like really fun, a lot of like really bright colors, a lot of really nice contrasting colors. So when we first see Black Flame, I feel like she kind of really pops up. She's got like this blue flame behind her, like the bright pink of her outfit and the purple of her hair is like really popping out. So I really liked the way that they were using a lot of these colors. And then even in a lot of the background shots, like the sky is kind of yellow and orange because of all the fires. You know, the reason why she had to incorporate that boob window.
Yeah.
And yeah, the heat. And I think that really, you know, the colors really popped in this issue. And I thought that was one of my favorite parts of the issue, was actually just how colorful it was and how much that like kind of drew me into the story.
Oh yeah, it
so
was very dynamic to look
The
at.
colorist did a great job in this one. I really liked it.
Yeah, colors can make or break an issue. So I would agree with that a lot. So Black Flame has her own unique look. Loving the actual black flames on her suit. So I imagine that we'll see more of Black Flame. So we'll see if this look continues.
Yeah, in the Rye in the chat it says, I think there's a panel somewhere where Power Girl says the panel is for ventilation. So hey, maybe it's really humid.
That's the only reason I can think of.
I think that this is like a recent upgrade to the suit. She was like, too many fires. We're setting too many things on fire, and it's like a little bit hot. So I'm just gonna cool off a bit.
Yeah, I think she's just trying to adjust to the fire she's been setting in Kandor.
I need to be cool and stylish. I am Black Flame after all. It's in the name.
I guess it's fitting though that Black Flame is setting fires or causing fires.
It feels right for her. It feels right.
It feels right. And this has been
Lena Luthor, Boardroom or Ballroom.
So Morgan, as a character though, what do you think about Black Flame?
I think Black Flame is kind of scary, honestly, as a character. She does seem like kind of a formidable opponent. I'd love to learn more about her backstory and why she is so angry. I think that there is a pretty legit reason in terms of being mad at the Science Council. I don't know that then if you follow that logic to let's burn the whole city down, it's like, well, wait, I don't know about that. I don't know that everybody agreed to that. They live here. I think it's pretty reasonable to be mad at the Science Council for lying to them. And if from Black Flame's perspective, because she has not heard anything from them and they're just hiding and not communicating, she doesn't know if they've been trying to work on this problem or not. And the people of Kandor don't know that either. So I think that perspective of why she's angry and kind of lashing out, I think it makes her a compelling character. It's like an understandable motivation. But I'm kind of even more interested in her relationship with Lesla, because she seems almost equally as angry at Supergirl for kind of getting close to Lesla and then dropping her back off in the Bottle City and like kind of abandoning her. She keeps talking about how Lesla is like obsessed with Supergirl and how Lesla shouldn't look up to Supergirl because Supergirl isn't that big of a inspiration, and that basically kind of telling Lesla that she should stand on her own 2 feet, while at the same time being like, as long as those 2 feet are following me. So I thought it was interesting that she kind of, it feels like in a way she's trying to stand up for Lesla and she's like, hey, you weren't nice to my cousin who really cared about you. But at the on the flip side, it feels like she's kind of using those experiences that Leslie had with Supergirl to manipulate her into assisting with the things that Black Flame wants to do, and maybe not necessarily that Leslie wants to do. I felt like this issue had a little bit of like a hole where we got Leslie's perspective, and I don't feel like we did get Leslie's perspective in this one. She feels very conflicted, but I don't know why she decided to go along with Black Flame, why she decided to create all these creatures. Like, we don't really get her perspective. So that's something I'm really interested in as this story moves forward is, what is Leslie thinking about all this? Like, why did Leslie go along with what Black Flame had to say and wanted to do? Because she had spent so much time with Supergirl, and she was kind of reformed from her previous villainous ways, and so that she fell right back into it feels very disappointing. And I feel like you can feel Supergirl's disappointment and sadness about this friend that she had that was really important to her, that she thought was really like turning a corner, go back kind of and revert to her old ways.
Yeah, I think we get some of Leslie's perspective, but only from the mouth of Black Flame. So she is speaking for Leslie, and I think it's very manipulative what Black Flame is doing. It almost seems like Leslie might be like a hostage situation, because when Supergirl and Leslie reunite, it seems like a very genuine thing. They hug and tell each other that they missed each other, and it seemed very real to their experiences. But there's a really dramatic moment in the issue that I thought the art did a really good job with, is that so the yellow ring that Supergirl wears in order to have powers in Kandor, in the yellow ring of Norcan or Norcan. We heard about this earlier in the run. It's charged with sunlight, and without it, Supergirl and Superman are powerless inside the Bottle City. That's set up really well at the beginning of the issue. And so the big betrayal here is that Leslie is the one to take that ring off of Supergirl's finger and leave Supergirl powerless inside the city. And it allows for Black Flame to really give it to Supergirl. I mean, they fight and they're both bloody and gross. And Black Flame, I would say Black Flame wins that fight. And so I thought that was a real sort of turncoat moment for Leslie. And I don't know if she wanted to do that, or if that was just something she was doing because Black Flame told her to do it. So I'm kind of suspicious that Leslie is like 100% okay with all of this. But I thought that moment was really, like, I was kind of shocked. I was like, oh my gosh, what have you done? So
I know
that moment doesn't end well for Supergirl.
That moment was such a betrayal, and that's why I really want more from Leslie's, either to hear from Leslie's perspective, or maybe even to see a little bit like a flashback to Leslie's perspective, because to see her go from being such close friends with Supergirl, and when Supergirl comes and she says, I missed you, I felt like that was genuine. And then to see her betray Supergirl that way, and even later on in the fight, which gets very like bloody and nasty, brutal, and like really brutal, where Black Flame stabs Supergirl without her ring on. So she's just, she's
a human.
She's just a person, and she can get stabbed, and she's not going to heal super fast like she would with her superpowers. I was surprised that like Leslie doesn't do anything. She doesn't step in. She doesn't even say anything. She just kind of lets Black Flame beat up Supergirl and stab Supergirl, and like ultimately drop her off of like the top of this tower, which could kill her. And I was surprised that Leslie doesn't seem to fight back at all against her cousin, Black Flame, and just lets Black Flame really, maybe murder Supergirl. And so I was surprised that Leslie, like, she does give like a little bit of like, no, don't do that. But like, it's a very weak version of her kind of rejecting what Black Flame is doing. but it's not very active. She's like, you don't have, like, don't, is basically, I think, all she says at the
Yeah.
end. It's like, well, that's not, you're not really helping her out. And she is like, you can see tears in Leslie's eyes and things like that, but she's obviously emotional about it, but she still lets it happen. So I thought that was such a big betrayal, that moment when she takes the ring off of Supergirl's hand, and that's the moment when you know that, like, whatever is going on, it's like not good here, and that Supergirl doesn't have Leslie in her corner.
Yeah, so quite the scene there when a Black Flame pushes Supergirl off the ledge. And I agree with you. Black Flame is actually pretty scary because she does not care. There's seemingly no like good in her at all. She seems very power hungry. She seems to want to take Supergirl down. That seems to be something that's very exciting for her. And to even make a joke about Supergirl's powers as Supergirl is sort of plummeting to her death, as it were. I imagine there's going to be a Supergirl number 12, so maybe Supergirl is going to make it through this cliffhanger. But to make a joke that she can fly as Supergirl is heading towards a certain death is pretty evil. I mean, that is not something a good or nice person does. So I found that to be quite scary myself. So I guess since we have, before we get to the cliffhanger, is there anything else that you wanted to discuss that we didn't already?
I don't think so. I think that this issue, I think maybe we didn't talk a lot about the fight scene between Supergirl and Black Flame. I thought that was really well done. I could really follow the battle, and I was kind of on the edge of my seat because they feel like they're more evenly matched because Supergirl doesn't have her powers. Like, Supergirl is certainly getting her licks in and getting as good as she's getting, but ultimately she doesn't end up winning because Black Flame has this sort of knife in her boot that
she plays dirty,
pulls out and stabs Supergirl with. And then after that, it's like, well, I don't think Supergirl's going to be able to win this battle with like a wound in her, either her stomach or her side. It's not too good. So I was surprised I think this is the most brutal this run has been with the violence, and I was surprised that they really went there in this issue.
Yeah, I would say for the most part, the art, I could follow along with every blow by blow. I was kind of right there with everything that was happening. And what I liked about the sound effects that were used is that while I was reading it, I was sort of trying to sound out the sound effects as I went. And it actually made sense for the action that was happening. There's one where it says like something like, kind of this rushing sort of wind, this fast movement from Black Flame. And so I liked being able to kind of follow along the action with the sound effects as they went. The only question I had for you, because I'm pretty sure this is how this happens, but Black Flame not only stabs Supergirl in the stomach, but she also seems to stab her in like the bottom part of her leg above the ankle. So not only does she really go for the literal gut punch, she makes it so that Supergirl would probably hobble, and that would make it very difficult for her to stand. So that I think is real dirty, real gruesome, and she's not messing around. So Black Flame, I think, really went for, I'm going to try to kill Supergirl.
Yeah, I mean, Supergirl and Black Flame are fighting, and Supergirl, Black Flame is saying to like Leslie, like, oh, look at her, she's no better than me. Without her superpowers, she can't do anything. But then Supergirl does ultimately kind of win the fight. She has Black Flame pinned down, and that's when Black Flame gets that sort of, it seems like maybe an energy knife or something like that out of her boot.
Yeah, pulled it from her boot.
Out of her boot, and then stabs Supergirl in the leg, which then allows her to stab Supergirl in the side. So I don't feel, obviously this isn't fighting fair. Supergirl doesn't have a weapon, and she seemed to be winning the actual like person to person fight until she got stabbed. So yeah, I was like, ooh, Black Flame is willing to play dirty.
I think she actually stabs her 3 times, once in the leg and maybe twice in the stomach.
Yeah.
Because
Oof.
she pulls the knife out and then puts it back in there, and like really, like she's holding Supergirl's neck as if she's like really like putting it in there, and then like pulls it out so that the blood is gushing out. So just real gruesome stuff. I would agree. This is probably one of the more violent Supergirl issues that we've read in a while, but I think it's kind of interesting because it shows that, I mean, these kinds of fights with Supergirl, it really showed that like this character that she's up against, this is not somebody to be messed around on and with. Black Flame is a very serious threat to Supergirl. So I think on a villain standpoint, I like it because it shows that this is a character who could really threaten Kara and what she's doing. So on that level, I really appreciated it, even though in some panels it was difficult to look at. Lots of stabbing, lots of blood as well. Yeah. So in the riot also says, there was considerably more blood in this issue. So definitely for sure, lots of blood. Okay. So one of the things I was curious about your thoughts on, Morgan, is the cliffhanger. So there's the cliffhanger of Supergirl being pushed off the ledge. We imagine to her death, she is probably going to die. She's been stabbed 3 times. She has no power. She doesn't have that ring anymore. What is going to happen to Supergirl? And then at the end of the issue, there is a mysterious suited up figure who has like a mask with some white eyes and then a sun, seemingly a sun symbol on the chest area with some purple and green colors in the suit. So who do you might surmise that might be?
I was not sure, to be honest. Yeah, I had no idea. I was like, wait, who is that? I don't recognize the costume at all. There, as the issue ends and Supergirl's plummeting from this giant tower and towards certain death, I'm sure. Lena and is it Connor?
I can't remember which Superboy it is, but it's definitely Superboy.
And Superboy, they're like calling out. They're like, Kara, can you hear me? And then there's just like a figure. He's got boots and he's got like a little starburst.
We shouldn't assume. It could be a she. We don't know.
Okay, we don't.
I actually have no idea. I'm not going to spoil myself on this. So
yeah, I have no idea who that figure is. Sort of watching in the shadows. I'm assuming maybe will come to Supergirl's rescue or help in some way, but I had no clue who it was. I just truly did not know.
The only thing that I made a connection to is that the symbol looks like the Science Guild symbol. So if you go back to page 10, where it shows sort of the abandoned Science Guild building, the Science Guild building.
That does look like the same symbol.
It looks like the symbol. So I don't know if this is a person connected to the Science Guild who is coming out of the shadows, not hiding anymore, and wanting to fight back against what's happening. That's what I would like to think it is. But do we want to talk about Mark's comment in the chat? Do we want a spoiler? I don't know.
That's a good question.
I feel like we've already maybe seen it.
I have now seen it and do now know it, although I don't know who
we don't know anything about
either. But I don't know. Do we do a spoiler alert?
Or no, this isn't Mark's spoiler. This is Mind the Gaps spoiler,
Mind the Gaps, yes.
Yes. I guess maybe should we talk about it? I feel like maybe
sure,
we could
Spoiler
talk
alert, if you don't want to know, now is the time to like pause and skim through. Mind the Gap says that's Kid Thunder from Mark Waid's World's Finest. Kid Thunder is Mark Waid's young version of Magog from Kingdom Come. And then World's Finest is a new take on the early years of Superman and Batman, and maybe another reboot of the DCU.
Okay, I see the suit looks very similar. So I can see that. So that's really interesting. So we'll have to see what this character has to do with anything. I don't know if this is a character who is tied to the Science Council or if it's just happens to look like the same symbol. So we'll have to keep our eye on Kid Thunder and to see what happens. But hopefully this character will come to Supergirl's aid as she falls, and we'll see what happens as things go along. I'm very interested to see what happens with Black Flame. I I want to see. It's so interesting because of the Leslie stuff in this run so far. It only makes sense that Black Flame would have come into play. Because of their comic book history together. So I'm actually really excited to see what Sophie's going to do with Black Flame because she's a really formidable villain. I think probably I'm trying to think of some of the other villains that have been in this run. I mean, Black Flame I think is definitely like the worst. There's been like Princess Shark who had like a redemption arc.
I feel like Princess Shark is like a friend of mine, and I would have to defend her when being called a villain. Actually, I think that it feels to me like Black Flame is the first real like bad kind of villain. Where who knows, maybe we'll find out more about a tragic backstory or some conflicting part of her character. But right now, as we're standing, she's a bad lady.
She is a mean lady.
Excellent fashion, but bad person. And yeah, I feel like she feels like kind of a scary villain. Like I don't know what Supergirl's gonna do without her power ring stuck in Kandor, fighting somebody who would pull a knife on her and stab her out of nowhere. So I think that Black Flame is a really interesting, cool villain, and I'm excited to see more of her.
Yeah, so we'll see what Black Flame does. Before we get out of here in the issue, is there anything else in the art that you wanted to talk about? I know we talked about the beautiful colors and the way that the action really moved and was very clear. But is there anything else you wanted to mention before we get out of here?
There was. I almost forgot. Did Leslie go on a diet in in Kandor? Because I did notice the Leslie that we've seen so far in this run has been curvier. She's got like some hips and things like this. And this Leslie is much thinner. So I was like, what happened to Leslie?
I noticed that as well. And it's interesting,
girl.
It's interesting because I'm pretty sure that Sophie Campbell has been drawing most of these, has been the artist for most of these issues.
I actually flipped back to be like, maybe it's a different artist who, had to do it quickly and didn't like go back to the references. And then I was like, nope. No, this is Sophie Campbell, and the art style did indeed look like Sophie Campbell's. So I was like, what happened? In the Rye in the chat says maybe it was the sun that made her curvy. We don't know. Maybe it was the sun.
Well, I wonder if Sophie has an explanation for that. Maybe because the issue talks about how there's no food and water.
That's
around.
True.
So maybe just the starvation aspect of things.
Maybe they're having some shortages. Yeah, in Kandor. Or maybe it's all the stress of the situation that she's found herself in. But I noticed that immediately. I was like, Leslie, girl, what happened to you?
Yeah, she definitely looked noticeably different for sure.
Oh, Mark in the chat says, I think they said that the curves came along with her superpowers outside the bottle. Look at the early issues.
Okay, we'll have to go back and read some of those again to see the explanation for that. So that makes sense. If she goes into the Bottle City, then she doesn't have that anymore.
In the Rye said, this is from the first issue. The sun made her curvy, LOL. No, we do know that's canon. That's real. I swear I'm not lying.
Okay, so we do have an answer.
Comment was very funny, LOL. Okay, so it actually literally is the sun makes her curvy.
Actually, I applaud Sophie Campbell for adhering to her own rules.
Okay.
She set up that rule and she stayed consistent with it. I appreciate that.
I was like thinking, oh, poor Leslie, girl's starving. She's starving in there.
So if she gets her curves from the sun, if she's no longer exposed to the sun outside the Bottle City, this makes sense.
I gotta say, now I'm feeling like a lot worse for Lesla. Like she's in there, she gets betrayed in her mind by her best friend Supergirl, gets put back in the bottle city, finds out that she's always going to be tiny outside of it. Her cousin starts manipulating her and bossing her around, and she loses her booty on top of all of that. Like that's a rough run of luck.
It's a lot to take in
It's
for
a
sure
lot
for
to
any person. Yeah. So that is a noticeable change in this issue. So I'm glad we got a chance to talk about it. And
I'm glad the chat reminded me
Yes.
of this established lore from the beginning of the run that I had forgotten about.
I had forgotten it as well. So thank you to the chat for reminding us about those things. The only other art thing that, well, I had two things that I wanted to talk about. One was there was one panel where it had Black Flame and Supergirl's faces sort of paralleled. And I thought it was really cool the way it used the green and the pink as backgrounds. And I just liked that parallel of seeing both of them have bloody faces and really like wanting to not be friendly to each other. So I thought that was a cool way to artistically show their literal face off between the two of them. And I also thought this issue did a really good job of utilizing vertical panels. I don't know why that seemed, I don't know why that seemed so unusual to me. But there was especially like on pages 24 and 25, it's nothing but vertical panels. And I thought it was a really good use of space to show just like the dropping and the falling that was happening. You really can't, I don't think you can really do that with like a horizontal aspect panel. It doesn't really make that much. It doesn't make it as dramatic as it is where you see a long fall. So I thought this issue did a really good job of utilizing vertical panels, which for some reason I was like, this feels new and different. I don't know why this is so unique, but it did it on a couple of occasions, and I thought that was cool.
No, I agree. I felt that fall at the end of the issue because of the vertical panels, and because we were seeing it in all like vertical panels. I really did feel like how far she was falling and how long this fall was, because the panels were really long on the page, and you kind of see her drop, and then you kind of see her like midway through some clouds, and you're like, oh no, she's falling far.
Yes, and I can imagine it would be a fast fall too. I don't think this is like in slow motion. Like this is probably very quick within a matter of seconds. And to see it from this masked figure, this Kid Thunder, which Kid Thunder doesn't seem to be like the right name for his symbol.
No,
like,
it doesn't.
Bolt of light. I mean, I guess the Flash has the lightning bolt, but like I don't know. I feel like a sun is not really thunder. That's not what I think of when I think of thunder. So it's kind of an unusual symbol for him. But I like seeing his perspective of seeing the fall and how that vertical panel plays into that. Well, I guess we will have to wait until Supergirl 2025 number 12 to find out what happens to Supergirl. What happens? Does Lena do something with Superboy? Do they have a plan to go into the Bottle City? What are they going to do? Because they don't have any idea. Or can they see?
I don't know.
The people in the city would probably. I have a lot of questions about the Bottle City and what people can see, because I would imagine it would be sort of like an aquarium.
I would think so
But the people would be like really tiny. So could you even see the people and the actions or what's happening? Can they see Supergirl fall from the outside? I don't know.
So in the Rye, I noted this question earlier on in our discussion. Said, I have so many questions about the atmosphere of the Bottle City and how the smoke would affect it.
It seems like they would all like just choke.
Yeah, shouldn't it just be everywhere? Like it would, the smoke would go up to the top and then just kind of disperse across the whole Bottle City and fill it up, you would think.
Or is there like there's kind of like a
maybe
little
there's
ventilation?
Yeah, maybe they figured out a ventilation system. Like the first time somebody had a fire there and they were like, uh-oh.
We need to create an opening.
We need to vent this thing.
So maybe that would help with that. But that did cross my mind. Like, I feel like more of these people should be like choking and like gasping for air. But yeah, so I have a lot of questions about the Bottle City and what people from the outside, what could Lena and Superboy see from the outside? But they definitely know they cannot get in touch with Supergirl.
which is, which would probably be a little distressing. In the chat, In the Rise says, oh, also, I would like to mention that this issue is technically part of a Superboy crossover event. Did you notice he was in 2 whole panels and didn't talk?
Give us the issue numbers if you have them. I did see an editor's note towards the beginning of the issue. DCKO number 5.
Oh, yeah. To give a little context on the DCKO, Mind the Gap says there was a DC event that just happened called DCKO that affected Superman. So that's
why he's missing.
That's why he's missing in action. I guess he got KO'd at some point.
There was some kind of tournament, and I guess he got KO'd.
It's not good. On the cover, I noticed that it says the hero of Candor it says starts here, but at the bottom it says Reign of the Superboys. So I guess there are going to be some Superboys in this.
All right, we'll have to track down some of these other issues.
Yeah, Mind the Gap says Connor and Kid Thunder are related to the Reign of the Superboys crossover. And then In the Rise says that DCKO was basically a big fight.
That makes sense. So I guess we'll have to see if we can track down some of these other issues to sort of fill in the gaps. But right now, I guess I don't need to know what Superboy is saying for the context of this issue, because it seems like he's working with Lena. So I just assume he and Lena are hanging out, trying to wait on Supergirl to come back from the Bottle City. And so I guess maybe we'll see in the future what they do together.
I think if I remember right, and it's been a little while, I think he popped in at the end of the last issue.
Yes.
And he was just like, hey, guys.
Something's going on with the Bottle City of Candor. Look at all the fires.
Yeah, surprise. Like, who is does he have like a man on the inside, and Candor who called him up and was like, Superboy is like not great here.
Maybe they have I wonder if they have like a Bottle City live cam or something.
Oh my God, that
I would watch that.
I would watch the Bottle City live cam. Like, maybe this is why the people in Candor are like so mad though. They're like, I can't escape it, and you guys are watching us like television.
I would like to imagine like the perspective of the people, the Candorians, like seeing someone's face pressed up against the bottle, and they're like, could you stop staring at me, please?
It'd be terrible. That'd be terrifying. Candor is a dark place if you think about it too much, which is why you shouldn't.
You shouldn't. You really shouldn't think about it from their perspective. Yeah. So I guess we'll find out what happens when Supergirl falls presumably to her death, and who this Kid Thunder person is, and what Lena and Superboy are maybe going to do to possibly help Supergirl. So very excited to see what's happening in the next one. Morgan, I should tell you that we have a snap judgment that was sent in for us. So before we wrap up our episode discussion, I think we haven't done one of these in a while.
We haven't done a snap judgment in so long.
I think we need to get into a snap judgment. In the game of snap judgments, each person is presented with 2 options, but must only choose one. First instincts are recommended, and explanations are unnecessary. So would you like to take us through the snap judgment?
Okay, so this snap judgment was set in by Daryl. He wants to know, who has a more tragic abandonment story? The Linda bot being abandoned in the tree, or Bizarro Supergirl being abandoned at the desert base in the Supergirl TV series?
Both big abandonment issues, I think.
Yeah, both pretty rough, pretty tough.
And both of them, I think, were dealt with very quickly.
Yes.
Bizarro Supergirl, she got 1 episode. She, I think she might have if I remember correctly, I think she had a cameo in the series finale, I want to say. But I can't remember if she was with like Red Tornado and some of those other villains. I sort of don't remember much outside of the lizard faces, so I'd have to go back and rewatch that. But Bizarro Supergirl didn't have much, so I think it's harder. I think I'm going to say Linda Bot on this one, because like Linda really used her a lot. Like she used and abused her, I think, and then just forgot about her. And then the Linda bot still really cared about her. So I think I'm going to go Linda bot on this one.
Yeah, I'm having a hard time because I do feel like they were both kind of equally forgotten about. But I think Linda bot was a little bit worse because at least Supergirl didn't know about Bizarro Supergirl. But this version of Supergirl definitely knew about Linda bot. She kind of created Linda bot, and she was really profiting off of the use of Linda bot. And then as soon as Linda bot it wasn't convenient anymore, she was like, all right, peace. And then left her in a tree. I do feel like it's hard to be being left in a tree.
I think at least with Bizarro Supergirl had the intention of wanting to help Bizarro Supergirl. I think there was a positive intention to make a difference in her life and to take care of her and to really feel for her and connect with Bizarro Supergirl.
I do feel like if Bizarro Supergirl came to Supergirl on the TV show and was like, I have some poetry I want to share with you. Supergirl wouldn't just be like, I've got some edits. Like, she would like listen. She would listen. She'd be like, wow, that's such a good start. So I feel like in that perspective, unlike Superman in All-Star Superman,
with
who was like
Bizarro.
Yeah, yes, Zabaro. Zabaro was like, I have so much inside of me I want to give, and Superman was like, give less. Rough. Whereas in the comic, I do feel like the Supergirl leaving Linda bot in the tree, just like, I don't need you anymore. I'll see you never. Was a little bit more harsh because the Linda bot was like, I can't wait to be with our new family. And meanwhile, she was like, all right, kicking that thing into the trees. Bye-bye. And then didn't even remember.
It had totally forgotten about the Linda
in the tree. I feel like being abandoned in a tree is pretty bad.
Yeah.
Right. But you would want that to be memorable. And the fact that it wasn't even memorable, I think is the hardest part of that story.
That's really rough.
That's rough.
I also think if we could write a Zabaro like a Bizarro, a Zabaro comic book, just like a one shot. I think we could do it. I think it would be great.
I would like to see Zabaro go to an open mic night. I just want to see him live his bliss.
I don't know what that looks like for him, but I think he needs to get those feelings out. I feel like he needs an outlet for that kind of thing. So I think we should write the Zabaro open mic night where he goes to like a poetry slam or something.
I think that's great. He falls in with a group of like poetry people who's like, listen, it's not quite there yet, but like I see the pain inside of you. I think that you have something beautiful to give to the world. And Zabaro is like, I do think that. He's like, he's like, Superman said it, I didn't. They're like, listen.
Because Zabaro, if I remember correctly, he did not speak in the backwards way that the other Bizarros did.
He didn't.
He thought himself higher intellectually than the rest of them.
Yeah, so, he was like, listen, I can't be with this riffraff here. What would be interesting is to do it. We're really going down a rabbit hole, but like the Zabaro one shot where he like comes to the regular world and he's like, finally to be amongst my peers, and then people look down on Zabaro the same way he looked down on the Bizarro
he would be
world.
humbled.
And he's humbled, and he was like, "What? Oh my God, was I too judgmental?"
And then he has a newfound respect, I think, for the Bizarros. I think it would be beautiful.
He comes back to the Bizarro world and he's like, these are my people and I am the smartest among them.
I would read that story. I think we have a lot of really good pitches for this. So I think maybe one day we'll keep that story
anytime you want. And people are clamoring for Bizarro's poetry.
Let's just put that in our file of things we would pitch DC Comics if we ever had the
many like tiny characters who show up for like one panel that were like, you need a whole 5 issue run to really explore.
Sabaro, I think, is one of those characters. We need to bring him back. I think there's more story to tell. We're not finished telling his story. Okay, well, I think that is going to take us out of Snap Judgments. No judgments on your Snap Judgments. And with that, I think this is going to be it for this episode of Supergirl Radio. If you would like to contact us, you can post a comment on our website at supergirlradio.com. You can email us at supergirlradio@gmail.com. You can like us on Facebook and follow us on X and Instagram, all at Supergirl Radio. On Facebook, did I mention that? Facebook, X, and Instagram, all at Supergirl Radio. If you like what we do, we encourage you to give us a rating and write us a review on Apple Podcasts or anywhere that you listen to podcasts. Supergirl Radio is part of the DC TV Podcast and Multiverse of Color Networks. You can hang out with us as we go live and wired on YouTube, usually on Tuesday nights at 9 p.m. Eastern. It was me who changed it to Wednesday this week. So sometimes we have to be flexible according to our schedules. But you can just subscribe to the DC TV Podcast YouTube channel and know anytime we are going to be going live. DC TV Podcast also has a TeePublic store. If you're new, in need of some new DC or DC Comics or DC TV or Supergirl related t-shirts, tank tops, sweatshirts, magnets, tote bags, pins, phone cases, pillows, stickers, or like fanny pack kind of things. I think they have socks now. So there's a lot more that you can get now.
Imagine it. You can probably buy it.
So lots of things that you can get in the TeePublic store. If you would like, if you need new stuff for the summer of Supergirl, you can go to supergirlradio.com and click on the TeePublic store link at the top of the page.
And since we talked about the Bottle City of Candor in this episode of Supergirl Radio, we think you should check out our Candor design in the DC TV Podcast TeePublic store.
Yeah, so like the Bottle City in this week's issue, there is a ventilation system. It
there
looks
you
like
go,
an actual bottle. But this one, less fires and less evil characters, I think, inside. It looks like a space-age place that might be fun to visit. So you can check out anything that we might have there in the TeePublic store, and hopefully there's something in there that you might enjoy. Let's see, what else do we have to talk about? We would like to thank our Legion of Super Sponsors for supporting the Supergirl Radio Patreon. These people are Michael, Sam, Anne Marie, Yvonne, Nicola, Abby, Miriam, Nicole, Brian, Ethan, Majuba, Annie, Rachel, and Kit. If you'd also like to become a Legion of Super Sponsor, you can go to patreon.com/Supergirl Radio. I don't know, Morgan, have you watched the most recent season of The Secret Lives of Mormon Wives?
You know I have.
Okay, good.
You know I have.
I think it should be like The Secret Lives of Dad Talk, I think is what this season
Too much dad talk.
Too much dad talk.
Too much dad talk.
I don't think that's a hot take at all. I think
Normal
that's just a
take from everybody.
So maybe we should continue our reviews of each season of Mormon Wives, and maybe
I like
some
to
of the
imagine that there's somebody
happening around it
who keeps up with the Mormon Wives entirely through our season review.
We could start our own sort of like Mormon Wives podcast through the Patreon. I feel like that's what we're
we
doing.
could like just continually updating our Patreon supporters on like what Mom Talk's got going on, the controversies, which by the way, I don't know if you have been following.
I have been following.
Have you? Okay. Well, we will obviously talk about this in the Patreon exclusive. That's just like a little tease for the people who aren't Patreon supporters. But like, if you want to know if Mom Talk can even survive this, subscribe and you can find out.
I'm skeptical. I don't know if it can survive this.
I don't know. I honestly don't know.
There's some things where I was like, I think they're going to survive this. This is going to be fine. They're just waiting for the drama. I don't know if they're going to survive this. So we'll see. But I definitely think we should do that. Maybe we should pick a movie to review. So we could probably talk a lot some more Supergirl stuff maybe on the Patreon as we go through it, especially like podcasting things that maybe we can do. So definitely check us out on the Patreon if you want some more just behind the scenes stuff of Supergirl Radio and what we're kind of into and what we're talking about. One of our best reviews, I think, of all time was maybe the Batman review that we did of the the Battinson movie review. I revisit that every time someone talks about the Batman. I go back to it and I just enjoy it every time because I got a lot out about the Batman. So we have some really good movie reviews and TV show reviews up on the Patreon if you would like some additional Supergirl radio that's outside of the Supergirl realm. I think we have some quality stuff up there, so I would recommend it.
Usually we have a connection to Supergirl of some kind, but sometimes we just like to watch the same cult documentary, and that's beautiful as well.
Lots of cult documentaries as of late. I've been on my spring break, and I think I've just been in this weird documentary phase where I'm like, oh, there's a new Jeffrey Epstein documentary. Yes, please. And then I'm like, oh, I'm in a reality TV phase after Secret Lives of Mormon Wives. Do I want to start watching Claim to Fame? Sure.
Why not?
Why not? So I need something to do. I am watching a lot of nonsense shows just because I need things to do. So that is my quandary here. So Stanley does ask, why is the Secret Lives of Mormon Wives so popular? And maybe that's something that we could talk about in our Patreon review, because that might be more of a discussion than just that's probably a very nuanced question.
I think so. I think it is. I will say if you watch like an episode or two, I think you will understand. I think you will think, oh my God, this is trash. And then like 30 minutes in, you're just like, I can't believe that Layla would even say that.
I think, Stanley, if you enjoy a reality TV show on any level, I think this is the highest form of reality TV.
We've made it.
we have gotten to the pinnacle of reality TV, because to Morgan's point, it does lean into the fact that these are influencers. These are people who actively post on social media. And so you see a lot of their things on social media mixed in with their real lives. And it's a strange line to cross. They don't hide from some of that stuff. So it's a very interesting look at how social media informs relationships and our lives. And I'm almost maybe going to take a step back to it, because it's becoming too real now in some of the things that have come out in the news. And so it's like, do we all continue to watch this when people's
are we
lives
enabling some of these people?
I don't know if it's us causing the problems for them now.
Are we part of this now? Are we in Mom Talk?
We might be in Mom Talk. So it is a strange situation to watch. So I think that's kind of the interesting part of it for me, is that it's a different form of reality TV. But so you could give it a shot and see what you think. But you will get hooked, I think, if you watch a couple of episodes. Okay, well, if people want to keep up with me, they can follow me on a couple of places. I'm on Vero True Social at Derby Kid. I'm on Instagram at The Derby Kid. You can follow me on YouTube at my YouTube channel at Duck Milk Prod. And I need to do something. The 10th anniversary of Batman v Superman is coming up, and I need to figure out what I shall do about that. I'll have to see what's going on. But maybe I'll do something special for that anniversary. Today was the 5th anniversary of Zack Snyder's Justice League. So happy birthday to the Snyder Cut. I just wanted to say that publicly.
Man, everything's going so fast. Time is moving so much.
I feel so old. That feels like yesterday. So happy birthday to the Snyder Cut. But you can follow me on those various platforms.
And you can find me on Twitter and Instagram at Mojotastic. And you can also find me as a co-host on the Legendary Ladies podcast, where we are still trying to figure out our break from our winter hiatus. But we will be back soon. And until then, you can follow us at the Legendary Ladies on YouTube and Instagram, and at Legends_podcast on Twitter.
Yeah, I'm very excited. Whatever y'all talk about, I will be listening, because even if I don't watch it or listen to it, I'm probably going to or watch or listen to whatever you're talking about. I'll be listening to the podcast for sure. So that's very exciting for when you should just subscribe to the Legendary Ladies. So whenever the episode drops, you're going to be ready. So looking forward to what you all talk about next. Okay, well, that's going to do it for this episode of Supergirl Radio. But until next time, I'm still Rebecca Johnson.
And I'm still Morgan Glennon. And remember, aspiring to be better is never pointless.
McGurk! I love
not
typing.
mess with my Google Docs, Meeksy.
Supergirl Radio is going live every night of the week. How do you like it? Is becoming a human burrito a plus or a minus? I don't know. It does seem snug.
I mean, they say you are what you eat.
Kira. I love that.
So I do a podcast called Supergirl Radio, and one of our segments is Lena Luthor, Boardroom or Ballroom, because her outfit,
She looks like a boss in this coat.
Is Nasty Luthor like a different Luthor? It's not just Lena being mean?
Helen Slater here. So fun to know that you're hosting a podcast called Supergirl Radio.
Yeah!